Good morning, Hero Moms and Hero Dads and Hero Friends.
Good
What is
morning.
today? What's the day, Kelly?
Today is Wednesday. Ooh, it's hump day.
It's Wednesday. Kelly, that's her famous little way of saying it's Wednesday, you guys. It's another positive, awesome opportunity day. So that's what we're going to make it. We're going to start off by getting our heads in the right space. I just scared the shizzle bumps of my dog. Sorry, Jack. That wasn't as positive for you, was it? I think he tinkled on the floor a little bit on that one.
Don't slip and fall, Paula.
I don't want to slip on that. Oh my gosh, you guys, good morning. That sound is the sound that's connected to us just getting into that space where just take 3 deep breaths in and out. Breathe in good, breathe out bad. Ready? Go. Nice. Take your time on those, you guys. Like really, really don't feel rushed. I remember before when I was trying to get into new habits and I didn't quite understand, really what is this doing for me? I know all the successful people are doing it and all that kind of stuff, but why? I just didn't get it sometimes, and so but you just start doing it and you just really allow yourself to fully immerse and be in it, and then you start feeling it. And the whole idea, you guys, just get some good oxygen, big breath of oxygen in, and let everything out, and you'll start feeling that energy just kind of like coursing through your veins, getting to your brains, and just giving you that whoa, all of a sudden you just have different perspective. So that's why we do it, and there's lots of other really great reasons. Fresh air is just, it's good. It's good for you. We'd love to start with gratitudes after that. Again, just getting our minds in the right place. I'm Paula. This is Kelly. Our girl Michelle's not on with us today. Kelly, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for my friends who make me laugh every morning. I know Michelle Mabelle's not here, but we laugh, and this morning we've chuckled a lot. And it's just, otherwise, I wouldn't have that. I'd come home, I'd do my thing, and there'd be no laughing in my life. So, in addition to the deep breaths, I love the laughter in the morning. So, thank you.
Aww, I love it too. I'm thankful for that as well. Today, what I'm grateful for is I'm not sure exactly what part, so it's just kind of like the whole thing, just the human to human connection. I'm so grateful for person to person connection. When you just find good connection, good chemistry, good ability to get each other, lift each other up, raise each other up, and celebrate with each other, and mastermind and solve things together. And it's so important that we come together and do these things to help each other move ahead, move forward, succeed, overcome things, figure out things, so that we can be further than we were before. And the reason why that came up for me is because one of my awesome clients sent me this.
Oh, how
I
cute.
received this yesterday. I'm maybe culturally deprived. I believe this is probably some kind of a famous brand, but I'm not familiar with that. I've never received anything from them before, but I cannot express to you how incredibly strong, in a very, very good way, the smell is. It just, I put this in my room last night. Yeah, they're real.
Okay. Real flowers.
And
I wasn't sure.
I don't understand how it works, because and this is probably what this company must be famous for. I can't see fully inside, but it looks like it's just some kind of styrofoamy stuff, but not the stuff that you normally see flowers pushed into when they're doing that green foamy stuff that you push it into for flower arrangements. It doesn't feel like that, but I can't see exactly what it is. But the way that they put it in, and the care instructions actually say that these can last just like this. You don't have to water them or anything. Just keep them out of direct sunlight and don't let dust accumulate. They'll last up to a year.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what it says. I'm like, this is my spirit flower situation. Flowers I never have to water. oh my gosh,
Right?
I can't kill these unless I put them
Oh,
in
those are
direct
so
sunlight.
pretty.
Then it'll be like, like the Witch and Wizard of Oz that might melt, but they're gorgeous and they smell, I mean, just incredible. Now when I walk into my office, the whole room smells like these flowers. It's
Mm.
so good. And my client, she just sent them just out of gratitude for
Oh.
for coaching her to change her life. And it was just very sweet. It was totally unexpected. And I got this delivery and opened up this box, and it just smelled like amazing. It was like a box of smells. And then when I unpeeled it all, there was these gorgeous flowers in there. So that's what I'm talking about. The gratitude that was expressed through these beautiful roses first started with that human to human connection. When we just show up for each other, we can literally change lives. So, you guys, if you have opportunities to do that, please don't let them go by without trying to make that impact, or allowing someone else in your life to make that impact within your life. The effect of that is just, again, it's just life transforming, or it has the potential to be life transforming. So open up, right here, open it up. Okay, we'd love to hear, obviously, what's going on with you guys, what you're grateful for. I see Vicky's on from New York. She says, my mom is my hero. Aw, Paul Moyer and my mom. You're so
I was
cute.
gonna say you forgot someone.
She's grateful to have woke up this morning.
Yes, I love it.
She and I were talking the other day. I just can't, California, like how opposite coasts could we be? San Diego, California, New York, East Coast. And the weather over there is like polar opposite of what's going on over here. And she was just saying, like, man, I can't even imagine. She's been to California. She absolutely loves it. She's actually, in my opinion, and her opinion, born to be a Californian. So she's going to get here to stay here at some point. But she loves the sun and that cold weather. I know for some, I have other friends who live in cold weather places too. And you guys, I've heard you express like how it just kind of grinds you down sometimes. Like it's really tough to live in that weather day in, day out for months at a time. Hats off to you guys who can stay positive the way that you do when you have those kinds of things to battle on a daily basis for prolonged periods of time. I really can't relate. I must be much weaker minded than you, since I ended up in sunny California, where we don't really have to, like, if we have to warm up our car for more than 2 minutes because we have frost on the window, then we're like, God, this is crazy. My whole thing is like, how long is it going to take for my car to warm up, so that on a winter morning after a frost, so that I, is it fast enough where I don't have to put a jacket on from my front door to my car, because the car will get warm enough by the time I get too cold. That's my biggest, like, getting up in the morning and getting in the car if I ever have to during winter. But yeah, hats off to you guys, and girl, love you. Thank you so much for that super awesome, sweet comment. But for everyone else too, like, what are you grateful for? We'd love to hear about that. And the question of the day, Kelly, is who are your heroes?
It's a good question. I think, well, and I do have a couple, of course. My dad was one of my heroes. I loved my dad fiercely. I still love him fiercely. I just have to love him from afar. He would, well, Dad just did the work. Dad went to work. He, provided for the family, but he was always there, always there for me. And having a special needs sister, he was always very patient about that, about the issues that came up. And I remember when I was younger, I used to think that my sister had like the easiest life. God, she had it so easy, because she was always given the pass because she was special, oh, her life's so easy. But I remember Dad sitting down and actually I think it was a family meeting and, talking through that, as much as my young brain could figure out, that her life really was more difficult if we thought about it. Her path in life was going to be much more difficult to forge than mine, because mine was going to be like everybody else's, in a way. But hers was going to be more difficult. And so, that understanding and Dad's preparation as much as he could, prepare my sister and myself and my mom, and just our family. And he was always so supportive. I mean, I was a runner. My dad became a runner, so we never ran together though, because he became a runner too late, and
he didn't keep up with you.
Well, no, dad was a marathoner. That's not what I was, but I was off to school and stuff like that. I think more so when he became a runner. So I wasn't around for a lot of that time frame, but him becoming a runner, I think kept him with us longer, kept his neurological issues and stuff at bay for longer.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice for us. I think my husband is one of my heroes. He has taught me so many things without telling me, or, he's been through the raising kids spot when we met, and he was never, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. He allowed me to find my way. He allowed me to grow after I met him at a traumatic time in my life, and he was always very Zen, because he was into martial arts and things like that. So that was always a good thing for me to witness, and he was a very calming force for me, and still is to this day. So. So I love him very much for everything that he does for us. And my other hero is you, Paula. I don't know where the course of my life would be if I had not met you at the points in my life that we did. And it was, I remember meeting you, and it wasn't, we didn't like hit it off right then. I mean, we liked each other, but we really didn't.
That's like, who's that girl?
I know. Who's that crazy lady
messing with you?
But it took us a while to come together as far as like the things that we're doing now. But the personal development path that I'm on, the kind of person I want to be, the way you challenge me, is all hero qualities to me. So, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate, and it's not just like, your honesty goes beyond, just the friendship. It's is this what you really want in your life? The big question is lately is, how is this going to affect your future? Most people don't ask those kind of questions, and so it's really a friendship forged in digging our paths and making our way and into our legacies. And that's what it's all about. I mean, that's what set me on my path towards my legacy and what I want to do with my life and the mark I want to leave and the people I want to help. And so it's been huge in my life. So thank you.
Warm, all warm inside. Thank you, Kelly. That was really sweet. I set the whole thing up just because I wanted to see if Kelly would appoint me as one of her heroes.
I know. So between me and Victoria.
I'm totally messing with you.
You get all the feels.
Get all the feels. No, that's really awesome. I appreciate that a lot. And it's really tough. We're talking about who are our heroes in our lives. And there's, we all have a whole bunch, right? So many people have been part of helping us transform our lives and to go into that better direction. And without sounding like without repeating all the things that Kelly said, spouses and kids, even to a degree, right? We watch them, we get inspired by the things that they do. My daughter and my son blow me away with their courage. They're my heroes. Are so much more courageous than I ever was when I was their age. Sometimes even in my adult life, they're way more courageous as kids. And our parents, amazing people. So without repeating all the things that Kelly said about friends and parents and spouses and that kind of stuff, I'm gonna switch it over to really being around my clients. I want to talk about my clients and how much they're heroes to me. So they do come to me for help in moving through difficult struggles of where they are. But one thing that they all have in common, and this is the hero factor for me with them, is none of them, not a single one of them, are happy with staying stuck. None of them. I mean, obviously none of us are, but they do something about it. They take action. They hire an expert to help them bust through that. That's how much they believe in themselves. That's how much they believe in that they deserve more, and that they're not going to just sit there and take life, coming at them without taking control. And so they step into their fears. They step into the things that they don't know how to do. They go into uncharted territory where it doesn't feel safe. And they take on those big, what I call dragons, right? And they go in there, they turn themselves into conquerors, into dragon slayers, and they just take on the beasts one at a time. And they go in sometimes scary, with their sword, like, all right, here it comes. Whereas sometimes we walk into stuff and we're like, bam, bam, we're ready for it, right? We just have our sword up and like, screw the shield, we don't need that. I can slay this dragon right away, especially if it's one that we've slayed before, right? We know how to slay that dragon. But when you're talking about stuff that you've never, ever done, and this happens multiple times on multiple clients a day, every single day, and with every single client, we step into one of those spaces. And I get off the calls and my mind is blown by the courage and the strength and the belief in themselves that these people have. And I am so inspired by that every single day. So to me, one of my other heroes is just my clients, seeing them be so brave in going after what it is that they actually want. I think that's so huge. For Kelly and I and the other hero moms, and I'm sure for you guys too, I know you've done this work as well, stepping into our fears, without sounding egotistical, I'm a little bit of a hero myself, I feel like, or I'm trying to do hero things. Okay. And in some ways I am doing really well, still trying to challenge myself. But if I look at the person that I used to be, that obese, depressed, stuck woman 10 years ago, she was going nowhere. She was going to the grave with diseases and self-pity, that's where she was going. And for me to have turned that around, nobody could have done that for me. Just like my clients, nobody could battle their dragons for them. They have to fight them themselves, just like you guys. So for anybody who confronts a fear, to me, that is a hero. That is a hero, because you're going on to bigger and better things. So transforming my life, and when you guys do things that transform your life, it changes you. It changes you into heroes, because you don't want to just have that change for yourself. You want to take everybody with you, right? You want to, like, who else wants this change? You guys, this is so good. You have to try it. Everybody turns into a hero trying to save other people. That's the coolest thing about moving forward and conquering difficulties. So when we move into being hero moms, that's why Hero Mom Legacy Academy was born. It was all about conquering fears, first getting control of our health. I want to talk for a second about what a hero mom is, because sometimes we get that question. What if you're not a mom? What if you're not a hero? What if, what does it mean? If I sign up for that, what do I have to do? Do I have to get a cape? Like, what's going on? So Kelly, help us out. Like, help us understand what it is to be a hero mom.
Well, I think hero mom means different things, obviously, to different people. And I don't care if you've given birth, if you have not given birth, if you're a stepmom, if you're a dog mom, if you're a plant mom, I don't care. If you are a woman with ever the potential to be a mom to anything, then you have the potential to become a hero mom. And really what that is that woman, to me, that woman that wants more in her life, that knows there's more, maybe not sure how to get there, but knows there's this fire burning inside, that she's like, I can be more, I can do more, I can want more. I just don't know how to get there. And, she wants to be the leader of her life. And she knows she's stuck, but she knows that if she makes these changes, body and mind, that she will create that ripple effect in her family, that she will lead her family into what she has dreamed for herself and her family. Because a hero mom is never about just her. Like, I don't care if you live all by yourself with your plants, because it's never just about you. Because no matter what you do, you're still taking care of those plants. You're still leaving your house. You're still affecting other people. So the things that you do for you are the things that you do for other people too. So that to me is like the essence of a hero mom, like wanting more, but just not sure how to do it. But you know that if you make some changes, you're just not sure what changes those are. And that's where we come in, because we know where to nudge, we know where to push, we know where to insert things in your life that will make a difference. And then you start to grow and you start to think, and it becomes bigger. And then that puddle becomes a lake that becomes the ocean. So I have goosebumps.
I love that. You know, another way, you know, we say hero mom because we're moms. We have human children, and so for us, that's, you know, that was our big goal, to create that legacy, to be the hero of our kids, to our kids. But really, it's all about like embodying that sort of nurturing, that mother type nurturing personality, not to enable, but to, again, just like lift up. Our job is to raise adults, you know, to get them out into the world, to be responsible, do good things, and that carries over into other areas of our lives, to our clients, to our friends. You know, we bring that nurturing desire to lift others up. And if you're that kind of person, then you would fit into the culture and community of Hero Mom. And it could also mean, you know, if you like being the mother to that little girl inside of you that you used to be. Because for a lot of us, there are things from that time when we were little that, you know, we didn't get nurturing that we needed, not because our parents were incompetent, but, you know, maybe they didn't have the tools. Maybe we didn't understand enough how to express those needs. And so we're dealing with those now. We're facing those now. We need to sort of be gently bringing that little girl up out of that scared little place, so that you as an adult can take on the things that you need to take on, because it's your calling. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about any woman who just wants more out of life, who wants to transform being stuck into being a hero of her life, right? So that's who would fit into Hero Mom community. That's what a Hero Mom is to us. Sure, it started off with us thinking, oh, you know, it's all about just the like mom of human babies. But then as new women started coming in, and we're seeing like how much they fit into the culture of Hero Mom, whether they had little human children or not, we've expanded that, because we don't own the word hero, or even what the definition is. We can only just embrace what we feel from that. And so if you have a hero spirit, if you want to pursue having a hero spirit, that's what a hero mom is. You do have to be a woman. That's one thing.
Yes.
Not to be discriminatory, but because we want to create a community of like-minded women who can relate to each other. So there are very specific things about women, our emotions, our anatomy, and our phases of metabolic changes through life that we share in common. And so it just makes it easier for us to be able to go deep, be vulnerable, and share things that are personal when we all have kind of those things going on in common and can relate to each other in that way. But Kelly, I'd love to hear for you, in terms of like a hero story of your own, something that you did that was very much very much hero-esque, you know?
Yeah. I was just thinking, I love how you described that. I had not heard you describe it that way before. But it, you know, and it's okay to be the hero of your life. And because you couldn't always say that you were your own hero, you know, and there was a time in your life you never would have thought that. I mean, you would have been like, what? You know, no. You know, you would have been more the martyr person, you know,
Totally.
but you knew, you got to that point that you came out of that. And I think for me, it was, I dealt with my inner bully for a very long time. And I'm still working to think, at what point did that start for me? But I'm not so caught up in the past, because it is what it is. And now I'm moving forward. But, for me, it was a lot of, it's easy to play the blame game. It's easy to wear the costume that hides you and points outward. It's easy to say, okay, everybody expects this of me, not me. It couldn't be me. Of course it couldn't be me. I don't want to be thin. I don't want to be beautiful. I don't want to be healthy. I don't want to be the popular one. I mean, of course I want all these things for myself, but it's easy to say, well, they're putting too much pressure on me. And I found myself for a very long time playing that comparison game and not staying in my own lane. I wanted to be what everyone else was, because I thought that would make me a better person. And I thought all these people around me expected that. And it was very detrimental to my mindset, because it was destructive. It was bully. It was not good. And I paid for it in many ways, with the negative mindset, with the not the healthy body, with punishing myself with exercise, to work through all the feelings that I was having about myself. And it wasn't until I turned the mirror around and I said, wait a minute, I was the only one that was going to make that better. Was it easy? No, because I didn't, for a long time, I didn't like the person in the mirror. So it was hard to look at that and face it. And, but baby steps. It was baby steps. It was like, okay, let's do the mindset shift. You don't hate yourself today. What's one thing you love about yourself? And it might've just been my blue eyes. It might've been that I woke up that morning, that I woke up for a purpose. I don't know what it was that day, whether, it was my son or whatever, but it was something, and it kept me going inside. And, as I started to change all that, and it took time. I mean, we don't, just like when you put on weight, it takes time to put on weight. It takes time to take it off. You have a negative mindset for so long. It takes, you struggle. It's like molding plastic when it's warm. You can do a lot with it, but as it gets colder, it's harder to move. And so there's that tendency to fall back into your old habits. I still sometimes find myself, whoa, I don't want to be with that thought. It's like, I have to have a siphon saying, oh, I want this thought. Nope. I don't want this thought. And, I still
sometimes she just needs me to slap her.
Exactly.
Then that thought just pops out of her head right at that moment.
I remember, I think it was a week or two ago. You're like, did you just hear what you said? I didn't mean it that way. So
she doesn't get away with anything, but she doesn't let me get away with anything either. So it's fair.
So it's and I'm a very stubborn person, or I can be. So I even have to think about that. And it's like, I mean, little things like, I don't get to work out at the time I want to work out. Like, okay, well, you know how to work out, so just make yourself work. I mean, it's those kinds of struggles that you deal with every day. But when I stopped pointing the finger at the other people who had nothing to do with how I felt about myself, because they were loving people, they cared about me, and they loved me, but I wasn't allowing that because I didn't love myself. So, once I learned to, and I do today, I love myself. I have done a lot of work to get there, and I still have a lot of work to go, because I know there's a whole lot more love I can give myself. And when I do that, it allows other people to love themselves too. I'm teaching my son that it's okay to love yourself. I'm teaching my husband and sharing with him that it's okay to love each other and love ourselves. And, we all go through points in our life where we might not, where we're doubtful of things. But one thing I am working on, and today I can say, I do not doubt the fact that I love myself, that I am a good person because I'm living into the person I want to be. And that's forever work. I mean, I don't just get there and go, all right, I'm here. All right, everyone, standing ovation, it's like, but I'm going to give myself a standing ovation every time I reach that next level, because it's important.
Love that.
It's important. So that's part of my work as a legacy, to leave my family, to love themselves. We need
that's
to.
her hero work. Your hero work.
My hero work,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. And hero is, hero is about, like, just like Kelly said, sort of stepping up, showing up for, to live the life that you want your hero self to be living, right? So it takes time to get to that hero status, but for us within ourselves, like, just showing up, like determining what you want and showing up and doing the work for it. So there's so many things for me, where the hero factor stepped in. It was like Kelly, like, and it's like I haven't had a client that hasn't had to deal with this, if they're really being honest. And that is where they're stuck, and they're saying, oh, it's because him, it's because her, it's because how I grew up, and my mother and my father and that boss, or whatever the situation is, where they feel sort of stuck. They feel, they're that feeling of not having control is kind of like, is the lack of control. If there's a hero and a villain, it's lack of control is the villain and control is the hero, right? So the hero comes in and he takes control and he saves the day. But the villain is the one who mixes it all up and makes it all like dark and feels terrible, and there's danger and there's pain. So when that danger, that pain, and that feeling of being unsettled is going on inside of you, all that negative emotion, we create that ourselves. We totally have created that ourselves. Okay, fine, it could have been triggered by something, a change, an event that was out of your control. But for me, I have no excuse. I take full responsibility. But at the time when I was going through it, when I was obese, my big story was, well, I'm obese because my husband doesn't want to go for walks with me around the neighborhood, and so it's his fault because this is a family thing. I sit here and I serve the family all day long, and all I ask is for him to go on a walk with me, and he doesn't want to do it. And so when I would ask him, hey, let's go for a walk, and I'm really feeling bad about how heavy I am and my health and everything, and he says, well, first of all, I love you just the way you are. You don't have to change anything for me, just so you know. But if you don't like where you are, do something about it. And I'm like, jerk. He totally said something so nice and so right. And all I heard was, I'm not going to go for a walk with you. Do it on your own if you want it. And I was like, what a jerk. I'm never going to be able to do this now. And so, like, well, let's go grocery shopping and get some healthy food. Well, I don't really want to eat that food, but if you think you need to, you should. Like, what an a-hole. I can't even believe he's not helping me lose weight. What a jerk.
And I would have put fatso on the end. So I would have added to that. I would have said, oh, because I'm too fat, fatso.
So, like, you guys, 20 years almost of me living exactly that, what I just said, off and on, going to him and asking him to step in with me. And every single time, the story that I told myself was, I can't do it unless he's doing it with me. And so I blamed him. And resentments were built up over time by me towards him, because, like, I literally blamed him for being fat. It's so ridiculous. I completely caged myself. And it wasn't until that moment when I realized, like, oh my God, I'm obese because I made myself obese, because I didn't do anything to change it. Not for anyone, not because my mom, didn't give me cookies more often when I was young, so I didn't feel deprived and pigged out on my adult life. All the stupid reasons that I came up with, that justified that in my mind justified my very unempowered behaviors. I turned to food to mute my negative emotions that I created completely myself. It was so ridiculous. I literally dug the hole and jumped in it. And I'm like, I'm in a pit. It's all your fault. But I'm the one who made it. It's so silly. And so the hero moment was when I realized, like, oh my gosh, I don't have to stay in this pit. And look, there's a ladder right here in the pit with me. All I have to do is put my hands and feet on the rungs and climb out. But no, I was like waiting for somebody to jump in, pick me up, carry me out, and give me the life that I want. And so my hero moment was taking responsibility for my own friggin' feet, getting on that ladder, my own friggin' hands, grabbing the rungs and climbing out myself. And it was hard. It was hard work. Why? Why was it so hard? Because I didn't know how to do the work, because I hadn't ever done that work, never took responsibility for myself. So it was difficult at first to understand how to do that. But that was the dragon I needed to slay if I was going to do other things. So the first thing was flipping the mind to at least take responsibility for what my next step had to be. And then it was starting to get into action, taking action to start building confidence, to create competence, which created confidence, which created the desire to take more action, until I got into a pattern of believing in myself that I can constantly take action, flying out of that hole, right? Out of that pit. And then once I was out of the pit and I was like, okay, I know how to get out of the pit. That's huge. Then the next step was I gotta grow this more. I gotta improve more how this thing, so I don't ever get in that pit again. I never want to experience a pit again. What I didn't realize is that's not the only pit in my life. There are so many more pits that I didn't know were there. Like, what? I thought there was only one pit. And so I've been heroing myself out of pits since then. And it's okay. Every time I get out of a pit, I'm stronger, right?
I heard something yesterday that can apply to a lot of different things, but and it applies, I think, to your story, is you can accept the diagnosis, but you don't have to accept the prognosis. So you are in that pit, you accepted that, but prognosis could have been you're going to die in that pit, but you did not accept that. And not accepting the prognosis becomes that change in that mind shift that says, no, I am here, but I am not going to be here the next time I turn around. So it's working your way out and changing the outcome. That's what a prognosis is. It's the outcome. So you have the ability to change it. So your diagnosis was what it was, but the prognosis was not going to be the same. So I love that.
You get to decide.
Exactly.
And that's the mentality that we foster in Hero Mom Nation. For those who are part of that community, it's what we talk about every single day when we're coming on live and hanging out with you guys. We know it's what you guys are after. If you're joining us on a regular basis or you're hopping in now and you're still listening, that's what you're going after too. So you guys are heroes, and that is so exciting for me. I'm so lucky. One of the things I could be grateful for every day, every night, is that I have now built out a life where I literally have heroes all around me, whether they be my clients or my colleagues or my kids or my spouse. Like, I live in a world where everyone around me is ambitious and going for stuff. They're breaking through that, hero barrier, getting into some new area of their life. And you cannot improve your life until you get out of the pits that are between you and that next level. And there's always pits, always. So that's why it's so heroic for me, because I see people, when I was a swimmer in high school, we used to do these drills called Supermans. No, they're Supermans or suicides. Those are two kind of very different things.
Was it the back and forth and back and forth and back and forth?
Yeah, okay. So I think the suicides are in basketball, right? Or volleyball. They do the run the lines. So at my high school, we had two pools, big pools right next to each other with some coping deck right in between. And so the coach would have us down on the edge of this pool. We'd have to jump in, swim across, get out, jump in the next pool, swim across, get out, and go back and forth doing that. Oh my God, those were so hard. So hard. But every time we did that, we were like way better shape, right? So that was like our Easter break boot camp stuff that, to get us in shape for the season kind of stuff that was going on. And it's kind of like that when we're doing hero work. It's kind of like jumping into the pit, swimming through it, getting out on the other side, and then you've got some land there. We can take a break for a little bit, but then if you're that ambitious person going forward, you're gonna have to get into another pool, swim across, and get out on the other side. Like life is going to be about that, but each time you do that, you get stronger, you get more confident, less fear, and you know how to improve your stroke and pedal the right way and be more aerodynamic and get mentally stronger, strategically stronger. Everything gets better and easier to get through those things, and you just go way further than you ever thought you could. So I love that. I appreciate that so much about you guys, that you are so ambitious like that. I watch you, I look at your Facebook, I learn from you, I get inspired from you, from all the things that you guys are doing. So awesome. So I hope that you're looking at the things that you're doing yourself and realizing, that you are heroes, realizing that you are, getting out of pits and going into newer, better things. If you're not, please just take a moment and think about, gosh, what am I proud of about myself today that I did? Not in an ego way, but just to celebrate the positive effect of work that you've done to move forward and get out of that place where you were. That's so important. Again, not to like pat ourselves on the back, but to know that you've made progress, to know that you've done something measurable, and that got you to, further down the path of where you're going. Kelly, if we don't track what goes on, if we don't track our progress, what?
Then we don't know what's going on. I mean, you have no idea how far you've come. There's no way to know what changes you've made in your life, and you get off track. It's very, very easy to get off track. And I know some people think tracking's like, oh, it's so difficult. It's this, but it's not in the long run, which is what I love about our Hero Mom Challenge and documentary, is we are documenting this journey. And for people to be able to see where they started and where they end up, it's an incredible shift, because it is a physical shift and it is a mental shift. And the funny thing is you can't hold off the mental shift. When you start physically changing your body, you start changing up here. And then all of a sudden it's like, give me more, because it's like absorbing. It like becomes a sponge, and you cannot hold that back. So that's what's really cool, is like the mental change, you can't hold back.
So we want that army of heroes, just like taking all the pits, just like moving all the pits out of the way, and just like coming out of those
You're
pits
catapulting over those pits.
Terrifying. Yeah. That we look forward to that with you guys, and celebrating those moments with you guys, and encouraging you, and you guys encouraging us. Let's help each other win, right? We want everyone to win. There's room for everybody at the top. There's room for everybody. When I say at the top, I don't mean like somebody's higher than the other. I just mean the top of your life, right? There's room for everyone to be at the top of their life. It's not a competition against each other. It's not even about being a competition, in my opinion. I'm not a competitive person, but I am a person who's very serious about what I'm focused on. So if I have to compete against anything, it's competing against managing time. My mentor Brendan calls it mortality management, because at the end of our lives, we don't want to look back and have regrets. So how do we avoid regrets? Well, we have to manage our time. So managing time is managing mortality, right? To not have those regrets. So that's what we want to leave you guys with. We encourage you guys to be the heroes of your life. We hope that you enjoyed this. We'd love to hear your hero stories, so please put those in the comments, so we can celebrate those with you guys. And if you love these kinds of conversations, click on that link so that you guys can join Hero Mom Nation with the other ladies that are in there. If you're a woman, if you're a dude, we celebrate you guys too. But get a girl in your life to join Hero Mom Nation, and encourage them to be part of this really awesome community of other women. and vicariously experience it through them, and reap the rewards of your girls in your life, the women in your life, transforming into heroes. All right, Kels, we good?
We're good. So
All right,
be
guys.
the hero in your lives. It's time for you to step up.
Woohoo! We'll
Put your
talk to you guys
cape on.
tomorrow morning. That's it. Mwah!